Welcome everyone to a exciting week for the podcast because a lot of good stuff happened. And with me today is Just Dream.
Hello. I had a nice morning of waking up, being surprised that Magic Variance was here, ticketing a die, so life is good.
Did you say taking a dump?
Ticketing a die.
Oh, wow, congratulations.
So yeah, I finally have a nice card.
Yeah, and I just finished another episode of Dragon Quest Die, which actually turned out to be a better show than I thought. I enjoy it a lot. So this banner got me into those or into the show. Although I don't have a die yet.
Square Enix rubs its hands together nefariously.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
I
our
mean,
collabs are working.
but the show is good. Like honestly, it's actually like a carefree, nice shonen anime or I don't read the manga. I just watch the anime. It's like super nice. I like it. It's I love carefree shit. Okay, but yeah, what I wanted to say is a lot has happened, and we have a banner. We have a lot of updates. We have a GLEX card. So much to talk about. So what should we start with, Dream?
Well, we can go through over the app update stuff because this is a pretty big one, and there was some stuff in here that wasn't announced beforehand, or at
Right.
least
Well, you really
wasn't clear
already
that it
spoiled
was
one.
going to be this week. But
Right,
yes,
and you already spoiled one of them, didn't you?
I did mention that magic abilities now get weapon variants, so that's at minimum a 15% boost for any dual wielding mages, but for most it's going to be like a 50% boost for the TDH ones using a two-handed weapon. And a
Right.
lot of
Which,
dual wield mages will now force themselves to go TDH for that extra variance as well.
I mean, 50% is huge, right? You
Yeah,
can drop a
it's
lot of
it's a
magic
massive
and still
upgrade.
win by it.
It's a
So
massive upgrade for a lot of mages.
yeah, and I think we've mentioned this a couple of times already, but like this makes Roberta a monster in cow. So
Yeah.
next cow you're gonna see, well, everybody's using a Roberta, but you're of course gearing her for TDH. So
Mm.
that's a bit different.
It's a little tricky because I can't really think of like a two-handed magic spear that's elementless. But
Yeah.
if you're going thunder, obviously Return Sakura's STMR is amazing for her, and
Yeah, it
there's
depends
other
on what
options.
element. People are talking about that it could be Thunder next cow because of, Dragon Quest and so
Yeah,
on makes a
well,
bit of sense.
I think Clash was a one. I mean, I think thunder was confirmed as one of the elements
All
for
right, we should know already.
this
Yeah, you're
Clash.
right.
I think it was thunder, earth, and ice. But I think earth is predicted to be the primary element.
Hmm. Yeah, sounds reasonable. Sounds reasonable.
Mm.
I guess like without Sakura's STMR, or if you're not going lightning, you're gonna have to do some equip rod shenanigans or similar
Yeah,
in order
potentially.
to. But then rods are
Yeah,
difficult because you don't really have a good rod in peril. So it's
mm,
really, yeah,
but
like a
even
spear
if
is
you
really to prefer.
yeah, even if you just stick with her double STMRs, because she won't get as much of a boost because her STMRs obviously also give her a bunch of flat stats and stuff. Even she's getting a free 15% boost out of this update.
And that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. You might like you're still getting a small damage boost, and a lot of people have been excited for Ibarra for this as well, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Because, I mean, Ibarra still has one of the most monstrous LB mods in the game. She's just a little hard to gear, but certainly some other things this week help with that. And then she's restricted to a cow that is dark weak, but especially after this update, when we do get cows that are dark weak, she's absolutely monstrous.
yep, yeah, a lot of mages are winning. Even Oliveira should now be
Oh, yeah.
top tier in cow.
Mm. And he
Oliveira
has a
is one of
really
those mages that gets it for free because that's already a TDH mage, right?
yeah, his STMR is already two-handed, so he kind of has that built in.
Yeah. He has the same problem as Ibarra, of course, in that he has to do it on a dark cow, basically.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
a lot of the mages have that need to be a specific element, but
yeah. Except
still,
Roberta, because she's fucking broken in many ways.
yeah. And Angela's another one who's a big win for DV side of things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, she should be our strongest damage dealer, period, regardless of whether you're gearing for whale or not, right?
It's like, yes, if it's a fight where you can get her fully stacked and properly
Yeah,
external buffed and geared,
yeah, true.
at highest potential, I suppose.
Yeah. So what more did we get? Like did we
Um,
get the arena thing?
yeah, the big nice ones that we knew about were the arena orb feature where we can now use all 10 orbs at once, so we only have to do a single fight, and it counts as 10 wins, uses all our orbs, gets us all 10 participation rewards. So
Yay,
that's a very nice convenience to just do one arena a day instead of 5 or 10.
for sure.
If you lose, it still only consumes one orb, so it's not like a risk reward thing. It's kind of just free. But if you were planning on intentionally losing, it doesn't speed that up.
Right. So all the berserk and or all the what's that ring called that
Curse
kills
ring,
you? Yeah, exactly. All curse ring teams will have to re-gear for a proper team for fast clears.
I guess so. Yeah, it's now faster to win once than lose 5 times.
Yeah. What else do we get?
We got sorting on our or searching on our unit inventory rather, which is
Ooh,
very
that's
nice.
big. That is
That's very nice.
big. Yes.
And then I think most of the rest is fairly minor. Equipment can now be sorted by LB gauge fill rate and flat fill, so that's a bit of
That's
a
also
nice
that's actually
convenience.
very nice because that's I had to use FFBE equip whenever I needed to
Yeah,
gear people for that. So that's
yeah.
really nice to
I
be able to do from in game.
mhm. I think I basically just started remembering like the names of two different things that gave 6 each.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, that
Kyrie's
is convenient.
STMR is still my go-to materia
Mm,
for LB fill because it's like 7 or something. So it's
yeah.
so nice.
But yeah, speaking of equipment sorting and filtering, one thing that I would really like to have, especially now that we've got this magic variants update, is a filter for two-handed versus one-handed weapons.
Oh,
I think
yes.
that'd
Actually,
be
I
handy.
had that problem the other day with that, like where I just actually had to check which weapons were two-hand.
So that'd be nice, but I'm not sure if we'll see it anytime soon.
Feels like it should be there
Mm,
though. Like I really feel it should be like just a filter in the weapon types. They should add it.
yeah,
Although I don't think it's in JP, or I don't know. If we had Sinzar here, maybe we could have
yeah,
asked them, but he's not here.
not that I know of.
Yeah, okay. But yeah,
And then
game got a lot of
most,
quality upgrades.
yeah,
We
most
have more?
there's a little bit more. Most of the other stuff is just like renames of things or caps that don't really matter being increased internally. But
Mm.
the other two things that do kind of matter are um, AoE cast cancelling has been fixed. That came alongside Magic
Ooh,
Variant.
that's also big actually. That
So
is
that's
so
a
very
nice
nice.
convenience. Don't have to
Yes.
worry about your multicast AoEs cancelling on overkill anymore.
Yeah.
And the last one is the previously mentioned update they said with Die about the racial mods with mod boosts. Now
Ah,
a lot
right.
of people are still kind of confused about this, but I won't go full explanation right now. But basically, it affects barely anything. Stuff like Kaito and Dai's LB not affected. This is basically just a preemptive fix to the Balthia Fran synergy and a couple of very specific things.
Okay. Okay. So nothing
In
really to care
general,
about. All right.
yeah, in general, won't affect much.
Okay. Okay, good. All right, so a very nice week. A lot of quality of life. Some things we've been asking for a long time. I think fans of units that have AOE attacks, like the new Nickel the Return and Sakura the Return, are gonna be happy. So all in all, a fantastic update, honestly. And
Mm,
I
yeah,
am so happy. I think me and Sinzar said this in the news day as well. I'm so happy that mages are finally viable because I've always liked mages more in this game,
mm. I mean, yeah, this is stuff from JP, but this was a very nice update to finally get.
for sure.
Or this is like two updates combined into one, really, because
Yeah.
some of the arena stuff was delayed a bit.
So it's really nice. And with this smorgasbord of great updates. We're also getting a banner, a Final Fantasy 2 banner, and one that I knew nothing about it until I did the news day with Sinzar. So it turns out that it's quite an exciting banner, right?
It's exciting for like one specific thing, and then I feel like the rest is not very exciting.
Right. And you're gonna have to stick around and listen for a bit until we get to the exciting thing, because we're gonna talk about the NVA first. We have a 3-star NVA on this banner.
Yeah, all the way from 3 to 7, we've got just a guy.
And I
He's
thought I would
some
never
guy.
say this in this game ever before, ever. He is yet another tank.
Yeah. Well, he's like the latest in a slew of 3 or 4 very similar physical tanks, which all are made somewhat irrelevant by the fact that Ronda exists still.
Yeah, exactly. He has we can say he has an okay mod on his SLB. So it's an SLB unit, and he has an okay defense based mod. I just don't know how high of a defense stat he can get though.
Yeah, he's not going to be doing that much damage.
Okay.
Really. But yeah, like he's got the tank basics of like the 75% self mid on the provoke, the standard cover ability with 50% party nets, and then very similar to like Mont. His
Right.
SLB does 70% physical and general AoE. His sort of one niche compared to them is probably that he can do some very high beast and human mitigations, especially with that one turn 99% beast mitigation on a 10
Yeah.
turn cooldown.
If you really, really, really need to survive that one turn against the beast, then yeah, this is your guy.
Yeah.
Basically what we're saying here is this is your bonus unit for this MK. And that's about it. You get a free EX3. Well,
The
no, you
nice
don't actually.
No, you probably, I think usually you get like a free EX1 from event stuff, but I haven't actually checked.
Oh,
But then yeah, you'll need some more copies.
and I'm just gonna repeat the tip since our game in the Newsday. If you haven't listened to it, or if you forgot it, it's that actually don't go for EX3 because fuck this unit. But this unit has a really good STMR. So instead, just make as many STMRs as you can.
If you did actually want to use him, you'd probably want the EX3 because his SLB mitigations only have a 3-turn duration, so you need EX3 for full uptime.
Yeah, but like,
But
come
yeah,
on.
the extra STMRs will generally be preferable.
Yeah, the STMR is amazing. It has great stats for tanks, for attackers that want human killers. It's just really, really good. And I also think you need 2 of these if you want to max out a certain other FF2 unit that we're going to talk about later, right?
Or Firion. He'd also want a couple of these if
Yeah,
you really want
that's the one
mages
I
around
meant.
to like. Oh, okay.
But
I
now
thought you
you
were talking about
spoiled
Ricard.
it. God damn it.
I thought you were talking about Ricard, who I'm also
No, no, no.
spoiling.
Yeah, now you're spoiling again. God damn. Yeah. But no, but I mean the tip here is like unless you're really, really hurting for a tank, make more STMRs. Because they are just really good. You're just gonna want more of these.
And again, if you're really hurting for a physical tank, get Runda already.
Yeah,
It is
exactly.
better.
Free unit. For sure. Yeah, there's literally no reason to have this, and no reason at all. Just let it go. Let it go.
It's
All right.
literally for if you want to grind the event faster.
Yeah, yeah. Although, like, I feel bonus is really nice because Firion is also part of the bonus since he's an FF2 unit and so on. So I have a thick bonus theme already.
I haven't assembled mine, but it shouldn't be too hard to get a decent amount.
Yeah. All right. So next up is Emperor of Penis. No.
You want to try that one again?
Emperor of Palamisia. Sorry, I just saw Emperor of P in my notes, and my brain just went there because like that's what P is usually short for. But hey, okay, so it's chair meta again. I did this joke in the Newsday as well. Since I didn't like it.
Nice. Yes, the chairs have returned.
Although to be fair, this is a bit different because like the Emperor does not get up from the chair.
Well, I haven't seen his animations, but yeah, he is the laziest of the chair meta.
Yeah, or I mean, like his idle combat animation is he's sitting the fuck down, legs crossed.
Yeah, very sultry.
All right, so Emperor is an SLB mage, and next unit.
Well, mage is a general assessment, a generous assessment.
True,
because his mod is not very high. But what he is he is the first of JP's new series of clone breakers, or
Right.
clone imperialers. So a lot of
I-
these units, these breakers we're going to see, have 85% attack and magic break, and then 87 for one of the defenses and 89 for the other. So yeah, he's got his 89 spirit break, and then the other thing they have in common is a 160 imperil for one
Right.
element,
And that's
which
literally
is
the only thing this unit has, and kind of
pretty much.
we're like this is kind of the same run we saw with the breakers, as we saw with Axstar, Reagan, and so
Yeah,
on.
it's the new
Tulian.
series of the new
This
models
is the
of
new
those.
series of the 160 Imperil. Like,
Mm,
because 89 breaks, like, fuck that shit. I mean, yeah, it might make
yeah,
sense in a scenario where it's really effective to bring a 160 Imperil and a break in one unit.
well,
Um,
basically, what these units are for, because in most content, the upgrade from like 135 on your damage dealers to 160 is not super huge. I mean, it could be potentially worth in some DV fights if the
and it
break is
depends on
also
like
what you
what
want.
the initial resistance is, really. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but
I hear what you're saying.
with initial resistance, what these are for are the upcoming trials that have 265% resist of most elements and then 210 for their quote unquote weak elements.
Right, right.
So
So
yeah, that's
160 makes a lot of difference then, of course. And one thing to note is I do think Emperor also has a Rod Imperil, making him probably the best source of Rod Imperil right now
yeah,
for
probably
a strong team.
the other two that I can think of are like not very good now.
Well, I mean,
But
Cetra Aerith you could still bring, kind of. But
yeah, but
Realm is
if it's a
tough.
light team, if it's a light team, you can bring Aerith, but otherwise she's not amazing anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that as well. That this
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
given the
that
mage TDH meta, and we just got pop with this amazing STMR. So, you know,
yeah, he's all right. It feels a bit like his desirability is kind of like artificially inflated. I guess he's not at his core. He doesn't feel like a good unit, if you know what I mean. But there
no,
are
no,
still
I agree
ways they make
100%.
there's still kind of ways they make him needed.
This is kind of like when I pulled Mermaid Frisia. It's like I really want to think she's a good unit, but I also have Bulwark.
Yeah, that's a bit of a different case because it's like that's decent, but with a direct upgrade exists.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
this
and
is
she
like
does have
not
like
so good,
her niche in the
but
still
has
in the
niche.
buffs and so on.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. But yeah, that's I guess about all about Emperor. Like, we should maybe, like, is there anything really to mention? I feel like his TMR and his
Well,
STMR are also a bit meh.
yeah, all of his gear stuff is mostly just magic and other stats for himself.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's big
his
stats, but it's only for him. And
yeah,
and
his
and
SPMR can be quite nice stats for other mages, but yeah, because I
yeah, I
think you
mean,
still get some. Oh, the LB damage is probably breaker only rather than mage only, so that's unfortunate. But it's 110 magic heavy armor with human killer for other
yeah,
mages,
it's
which is
decent.
something, but not. And I
But
think
as you
stat
already
wise,
said, like, his mods are so low that, or
yeah,
his mods are fairly low, is what I'm gonna say. It's an AOE triple bolting strike on the SLB,
mhm,
and but with 230 mods, and it's single dip, so it's like, yeah, not great.
yeah, not amazing. Damage
So
is secondary.
right, so let's move on to the unit that people are actually excited about, unless you're a Firion fan, but we're gonna get back to that. Well, I guess you're excited about this unit even if you are a Firion fan, I guess. um Ricard, is it Ricard? It should be Ricard, right?
Yeah, that's how I've been saying it, Ricard.
Ricard
Wyvern?
and Wyvern. Vivern?
Wyvern. I
Vyvern,
don't know.
right.
I
I don't
think
know
that
either.
one's more of a matter of
We,
opinion, but
no, we need a D&D expert, like one of those forever DMs that need to kind of tell us how to pronounce it. But okay, we have a Dragoon, one that's a bit similar to Kane, but doesn't have two elements.
yeah, he's purely windlocked and
Right,
true dual wield.
right. But does hit really hard.
Yeah, like including his gear, he can get up to a 300 jump mod. which
Yeah,
is very solid.
yeah, exactly. And I think he's kind of, well, he's not top or he's not top physical for another reason, but we're gonna get to that reason soon. Um, Otherwise, not really much to say about support in his kit. It's very selfish. It's a
Yeah,
classic Dragoon slim design, really.
pretty much.
He
Has the
just
same spear and barrel that Kane does, but
yeah, yeah.
yeah, otherwise isn't boosting your team.
So
He's
what you
got
want to do
some
is you want to use the LB and then you just want to jump, right? That's basically it.
pretty much. So yeah,
Yeah.
he's just a hard-hitting Winlock Dragoon that is
Yeah.
pretty near the top tier for damage, but isn't the most interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely are not going to be sad getting this unit, even
No,
if the unit didn't have the bonus effects that we have been holding off for so long that we should now start talking about.
yeah. The thing that
So,
people are actually excited about for Ricard is his STMR and his card, which both give a substantial mod to any jump or time jump attacks for any
right.
Dragoon.
So, as I understand it, Cinzar explained this to me. This is kind of the start of really like the Dragoon meta, where Dragoons are
Mhm.
going to be incredibly strong. There are a couple of more units coming up down the road. That one, like the player that has all of these pieces, can equip them to a Dragoon and melt face, basically.
Yeah, there's a couple more that I can think of later on, but these are the big ones that give all of the previously pretty good Dragoons a big buff.
Yeah.
Because
And
like, yeah, the helm gives 30x and the card gives 40x, so that's 70 total. Which so Kane also goes up to 300 and matches Ricard's mod, but I think it's probably slightly better attack
yeah,
and stuff. So he hits harder
and
than
do and
Ricard
two
with
elements
his
is
gear.
nice as well with Kane.
Yep, two elements too, and
But I
then
think, oh, sorry, go ahead.
like Roberta obviously will get a pretty similar boost,
Yeah,
and
Roberta's going to be
also
super strong
appreciate
as
that.
well. But I think that most important thing to mention here is just how powerful Sky is going to get.
Yeah, because she gets to double dip on all of these boosts. So her jump was previously pretty piddly at I think only 85, but 85 but hits twice, isn't it? So
Exactly. And it's important to
170.
say he hits twice because it hits twice with TDH. So
Yeah,
she both
that's
has the
why.
variance and two hits. That's why she double dips.
Yeah, so this will increase her to quick maths 155, and then that doubles to 310. So that's an effective mod that's actually just higher than Kane and Ricard, but she gets a fair bit less attack currently. So I
Right.
think as far as Winlock Dragoons go, Ricard himself is probably still a bit stronger than Sky for now.
Yeah. But Sky, of
But
course,
in
has the huge benefit of not being element locked.
no, her jump is windlocked.
Wait, what? Oh my
Yeah,
god, this was disappointing.
her LB is elementless, but her jump's windlocked. But
Oh,
once we get a couple of future pieces of gear that Sky can also double dip on, she will get a lot more because I think the new Kimari with the FF10 stuff that's coming in a couple months has an accessory that boosts jump mods as well. And then I think the new X2 Riku has like a chest piece with universal mod boost for female units. So that'll really help
oh,
both Sky and Roberta.
oh. God damn it. Like, there are so many units that I now have to pull, and I have no lapis.
Yeah, if you really want to invest in the jump meta.
Yeah,
But
or
I think,
I want to invest in the Roberta meta, but so which probably means jump meta as well.
yeah,
But
the
I
DP
feel
at
like
least.
should I be worried though, Dream? Because you know what I feel? I feel like the game is slowly going towards um making the gap between whales and non-whales bigger.
Oh yeah, definitely is. There's a lot more like pull this for a specific strong boost for something else or for this specific piece of content.
Right.
But
Because
we
I
just
feel
have
like
to deal with
if
that.
you want to have overpowered dragoons, there are so many pieces that if you only like if you only get one or half of them, you're still going to be doing so much less damage than the people that
Yeah,
have
compared
really
to
invested in all of them.
mm.
So that's I mean, it's
But
okay, I guess. Like in a way it makes it interesting because I've never competed with whales anyway, and now
Yeah,
maybe we're
exactly.
competing
Just
more on equal terms with casuals, so or
yeah, don't
non-whales.
worry too much about what other people have. It's just like each individual one you get, it's just a nice boost over what you had before.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
I mean, if
I
you're a
think
whale, of course, you can go for all of it, and then it's going to be a huge
mhm,
boost. But yeah,
yeah, like I'm obviously not gonna pull on Ricard's banner because I am poor, but what I am gonna do is make sure to get 20 extra VIP shards for him. So if I do pull a random one in future, I can EX one immediately for the card, and
good
then
point.
also
Good
just
point.
STM Armuk with the helmet.
Right. So interesting. Like interesting the direction the game is going in, and honestly, like I don't want to say it's negative either, because I do feel that the power curve has been maybe a bit too flat. Like, sure, you have the mega whales that,
Yeah,
have 3 units at 130 and stuff like that. But, like,
we have
especially
been
with Riser,
going a
fuck
little bit.
Riser again, like the gap isn't
Yeah,
that big. And I feel like the gap should be bigger. Like, I mean, I'm not a whale, but I do feel that whales should get a lot more power for whaling than they get in FFBE.
I think the gap is deceptively large already, but yeah, I can kind of see that. I
And I
think
mean, depends on
it's
how you
it's
see it. Like, you
somewhat.
can also just gear a fucking riser and bulwark and pretend you're a whale.
How you're just salty about that, but
I am incredibly salty
anyway,
about that still. But all right, let
but
let's
yeah,
let let's carry on. Let's carry on. There is one more
uh,
really cool and powerful thing that came out, right?
yeah, we got the. I'm assuming you're talking about the Chronicle battle that lets us upgrade Firion's bow.
No, I'm actually talking because who cares about Firion? I'm talking about the new GLEX card.
Oh, oh yeah, we're doing that first.
Yes. So this is kind of. I was almost a bit angry when I saw this card, only because I can't get it. But I
Yeah, I
feel
feel
like,
that.
but we're entering or the reason why I felt it was a bit cheap is because we're entering the Dragoon meta, or sorry, the TDH mage meta, and this card is absolutely amazing for gearing your mages TDH, especially if they're not TDH already. So like, this is a godsend for TDH Roberta.
Well, not TDH already and FFBE unit.
Yeah, yeah, true. Non TDH and FFB, but the card is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely, I would say, a step up from the previous like global exclusive banner cards because you've got like 120 base stat, 500 flat for anyone. That's no longer locked to FFBE. 100% magic, which is just nice for easy capping that. Two really good killers that are also not locked to anyone. And then on the FFB only passive, you've got chain cap boost like a Magister's piece of gear and 200% magic TDH, which is just a crazy package of stats overall.
So strong for sure. Like, I think that again, I think it's a bit unfair. I want
Yeah,
this card.
the fact, yeah, it's only time limited and hard locked behind 28k Lapis. Kind of sad. There's no ability to like shitter this later on, and yeah, that is kind of sad. But
Yeah, yeah.
for those who have plenty of Lapis, very good pickup.
I hope that I so what I did was I took all the free lapis, and that let me do 2 laps already, or not? No, sorry, not 2 laps, 2 steps of the card banner.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't know. Like, this is gonna be around for 2 weeks only, right? So when is anniversary?
Um, I think in 2 weeks,
Into Okay, so there's
in
no,
terms
like,
of
even
when
if
like the banner
anniversary
stuff
was
proper
generous with
starts.
lapis, it's not gonna make it until this, right?
Yeah. There's like a bit of lead up stuff starting now, but nothing too big. So
Right.
yeah, probably not. We
Yeah.
will get our or we should. I'm just
Nah, it should
thinking.
be just right.
I'm just thinking. Will we get the end of
Vision
Vision
World.
World Lapis before that? But I don't actually think we will because Vision World is still open this week, and then the rewards are normally 2 weeks after that.
Right, right. Which is a shame, because that would have also helped me a chance at getting Ricard as well, because I really
Yeah,
want
that'd
that
be another
juicy mod
10K.
boost. But unfortunate, unfortunate. I mean, anyone that has the lapis, you should definitely go for this card. Like, if you can
Yeah,
afford it,
probably.
go for it.
But then again, there's also anniversary banners coming up, and we don't know what they're going to hold. So having
Yeah,
a
exactly.
lapis stashed away is probably also a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is so easy for me because I never have
Damn
lapis.
you,
I just don't have to care.
damn you for giving us such tasty bait.
Yeah, definitely. Well, and Gumi, like they also really like to kind of cement the fact that you should have gone for that item. So you can also see that, oh, the
Oh yeah,
GLEX unit coming for the cow banner and or the anniversary is also going to really want this card. I'm calling it.
possibly.
It's
Yeah,
it's gonna
we'll
be
see.
like a new version, or actually I was gonna say it was gonna be a new version of Tiana, but I'm gonna back on that because we already have a Tiana.
Yeah.
But it could be like um it could be Shui Yu, although she's limited, so no, it won't be her. It's gonna be, it's gonna be like Tsuki or Olive or something, but it's gonna be Mage Olive, and she's gonna need this card.
Like that, we'll get a physical damage dealer just to spite you now.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, if that happens, then I'll be happier at least because I won't feel like I missed out on a huge thing. Although I already do with all the GLEX cards that have passed, I feel like I have missed out a lot.
Oh
So
yeah, that these are 100% like big FOMO bait.
yeah, for sure. So I honestly, like, I am starting to feel like I should start hoarding. It's just that I am completely incapable of doing so and enjoying the game at the same time. So yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, maybe we should mention the last tidbit, like for the two people in the world that actually care about Firion, and Shadow is one of them. Um, I guess like there's a lot of boosts. I think you talked about this dream as well in one of the previous episodes, like a long while back, giving us a spoiler that Firion is going to be quite strong at least.
Yeah, he's reasonably good. I wouldn't call him amazing to be honest, but like yeah, his bow gets an upgrade to 200 attack from 180, which is nice but not massive. But then for Furion himself, he gets an extra 1,000 flat attack and I think an extra 50% LB damage, but that might be more universal.
Mm.
Oh no,
And
there's
then you,
the universal LB damage on it, which was already there, but then he gets another 50%
right, right.
on top.
And then what you also want to get is you want to get two of the Guy SDMRs because each one of
Yeah.
those gives Firion another 500 attack
Mhm.
and defense. But yeah.
I think
And do you
this
want Ricard card, right? No.
no, that doesn't actually have flat attack BFF2 units. And I think in JP his own card got an upgrade that was still 90 base attack, but it gave like 600 flat for him. But I don't know if we've gotten that.
Hmm.
So you
Somebody should
probably just
check who
want
has Firion.
the you probably just want the general good physical cards like Knights of Grandchild is still going to be the best and
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah, he's still like kind of awkward to gear and awkward to use because of like his bow and peril, but he's still like with premium Fina support. His mod is good, his attack is good. He'll be pretty good, but I still don't think he's going to be like right at the top.
yeah, yeah. No, no, no. I mean, he's going to be strong. I think he still clocks in higher than both Titus and Squall. If you have all the pieces, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, congratulations, the two people that like Firion. He is
Yeah,
now good. I mean, I don't want to be mean about it. I think he is a good unit. Like if you have Fina, or another source of a bow and peril, he is still a strong elementless finisher. Like that's still true. So yeah, but problem is nobody cares. Yeah, but are those dispellable? Like, can you do the
with some
graph
help.
treatment on him?
I don't remember. I have a feeling that the yeah, there's no mention of the LB mod boost being undispellable. So
Right. So you
I
might
have a
be
feeling
okay.
that one.
So it's still gonna be tricky. But still,
Yeah.
like, hey, if Final Fantasy 2 is your favorite game and you really like Firion, like, hey, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I played through Final Fantasy 2, it was when my mother had accidentally bought what are they called? You know those creams that kind of are they called self tan where you just rub yourself in and you get tanned, but you don't have to stay in the sun.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't really know.
Yeah. So my mom accidentally bought those instead of actual, sunscreen, and I burnt to a crisp when I was like, I don't remember how old I was. I was a kid. So I spent like we were on vacation. I spent 3 days in the hotel room, could not go out because I had like serious fucking burns. And I played Final Fantasy 2. So I don't know if I'm going to say I have happy memories of this game or not, but at least I played this game and I still don't know who the fuck Firion is. So, like, good for you if you know who Firion is.
I mean, I just assumed he was the protagonist because he got like a CG.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. He could be the protagonist. Like, it's a different beast, Final Fantasy 2, when you're actually playing it. So, yeah. But yeah, he's probably the protagonist. I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. It's probably the protagonist.
No, he's just some random guy that shows up for one scene.
Yeah, it's like in a village, there's a dude in a house. Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
yep, this guy's the face of Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah, because nobody else knows who the face of Final Fantasy 2 is for real. So, I mean, who the fuck is Guy? Like, I don't know who Guy
I
is.
don't know.
I mean, I know Emperor,
I think,
but like,
yeah, Emperor's obviously the bad guy. I think, like, speaking of showing up for one scene, I think I remember Sinzar or someone previously mentioning that Ricard literally is a character that basically shows up for one scene.
okay, that's great. Okay, because I was gonna say I don't even know where Ricard comes from. Again, disclaimer: I did play this game when I was really young, and I have not replayed it since. But yeah,
Anyway,
interesting.
no,
I think we're kind of also reaching the end of contents as we're talking
Yeah, I
about
think so.
sunscreen and Final Fantasy 2, which is like a topic nobody should ever talk about.
Yes, if you haven't capped Vision World yet, TDH mages might help you now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, I am gonna go do some pop shenanigans again in Vision World. I enjoyed myself the other day and replayed all these stages with just solo pop capping them. Well, all of them, except the last one. But yeah,
Nice.
it was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed myself actually, which was good, and I'm gonna enjoy myself
Good
some
for
more
you.
now that he's stronger.
Good for you.
Thank you. It is. It is. All right, let's call it. Let's call it. Do you want to call curtains?
Okay, bye.